So today is day 50, and guess who's excited? This girl. What's going on here? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. It's day 50. We're going live. It's day 50. Oh boy. I'm excited. And the reason why I'm talking at such a low volume is because it is 12:35 here a.m. and I'm not trying to wake up London City. Family homies. So today we're gonna pop a bottle. Pop pop. Cause it's day number 50. I'm so excited. I really am. Um anyway, cheers. Back home I'll be using my fancy glass, but we're not home. And if I thought about it earlier, I actually would have brought one upstairs from downstairs, but I didn't think about it. So oh well, cheers. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm sorry. It's so crazy. I feel like I'm whispering, which is weird, but it is what it is. Welcome back to Antonia's Blissful Corner, your quiet space for reflection, growth, and peace. I'm Antonia. And before we dive in, if you have not done so already, kindly grab my book, Unlocking the Introvert, a pocket guide to understanding and interacting with introverts. It's available at societyofintroverts.com, Amazon, and everywhere books are sold online. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing so that you do not miss this wonderful journey that I'm on. Excuse me. So it's a bit chilly here. I mean, thankfully, I was able to convince my uncle this morning to turn on the heat, to leave the heat on because he has it set um, to go on when he's in the house. Now we're in the house all week this week. Okay. And the thing is, he has it set because um, he still go goes to work. It's not even goes to work. He still goes to work. He's 90 years old, but he goes to work. It gives him purpose. He doesn't go because he needs to. He goes because he wants to, not because he needs the money, but because it gives him purpose. It like it's where he's able to interact with people who he's known for many many years. And so, with the first day when I arrived, he was sitting in the front room. He had like a space heater on, and I'm like, it's cold because when I tell you I was cold to the bone, but he wasn't trying to hear me, and I'm like, Lord, it is but so many layers. And that's why I tell people like I don't like wintertime. I love summer because I can take off layers. In the winter, there are but so much layers that one can put on. Anyway, when it's time for bed, like I go under the blanket and I'm like a bug snug in a rug. And I always forget to leave the curtain somewhat open so that when if the sun decides to come out, it, I'll see when I wake up. First morning I didn't see it, and it doesn't help that I'm going to bed at 3 o'clock. I mean, oh, habits don't die. Anyway, this morning I woke up, but it was cold, so I decided to just stay snug under my blanket, and I fell back asleep. And by the time I don't know, maybe we woke up around the same time because I woke up, and yeah, I think I woke up. I was opening the curtains and I heard him in his room, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, it's 10 o'clock," and I was like, "Yeah," and I felt bad because I'm like, "I gotta go make breakfast," but he wasn't concerned. His only concern was, "This is the longest that I've ever slept," right? And he was kind of like concerned about it because throughout the day he kept saying it too. But I said to my mom that I think he's at peace now, right? Because I brought peace. I'm tapping myself on the back, right? Um, and so even when his nephew came this evening and I was letting him know that uncle was concerned about how much he's sleeping, he's like, that's because he's at peace. And I said, I know. Anyway, um, because he was worrying, basically talking about the fact that he slept so late. And I told him, I said, I think that you actually woke up early because at one point when I woke up, his light was on. But nevertheless, I think what he meant was first time basically getting out of bed so late. um, so after he said all of that, he said, "Worry not," and I said, "Yes, worry not," right? And when he said it, I know that he was basically saying it for himself because he was also, talking about my aunt who went on before him. And I think, he was basically having a moment of reflection on his own heart. But those words, they landed on me too. And it was like it was right on time because this day is day 50 of my life. Now, when I first started, I was like, I'm not doing 50 days. I'm going to do 25 because 50 just sounds ridiculous. But I realized how much we worry about things that never even happen, right? We worry about whether we'll reach the goal. I can't say that I was worrying, but I was a little bit concerned. I was like, 50 days, that sounds like a lot. And I said, let me do 25. And I did the 25 and I contemplated, should I continue? And I did, right? Because I feel like at some point it became a habit. Now I'm going to be wondering, should I go live every day at this time? Or should I just go do it a certain number of times per week? I don't even know because I want to get back to, like doing my recordings and doing my shorts and stuff like that. But anyway, sometimes we worry about whether or not we're going to stay consistent. And that was, um, I guess, the one of the purposes of this experiment. Oh, I was going to say challenge, but it wasn't a challenge. I think it was one of the purpose, right? Because then when you do something, um, daily, right? Or when you find your frequency, it becomes you become consistent, right? So it becomes a habit, right? So whether you start to wonder like whether you're good enough for things, we just worry about stuff, like worry about like whether or not we can get that thing over there that we decide that we want, whether or not we'll be able to figure it out. When I started this journey, I only committed to 25 days. And when as I continued, like for me, like I started to look forward to basically coming live. Now it's supposed to be 7:30, and I think for the most part it was 7:30, except for it was one time when I was basically didn't wasn't in Wi-Fi zone when I was traveling before. Um, and like here while I was when I was on my way here, I thought, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to go? Because I was like 7:30. That's that's gonna be late because it's 12:30 a.m. here. But I'm just so committed to do it. I'm like, it is what it is. Because it's not like I don't have any plans otherwise, right? Um, excuse me. I didn't know when I decided to continue. I didn't know if life would cooperate. I didn't know if I would have the energy. I wouldn't know if I would have, like know have what to talk about. And lately, I'm realizing, as I mentioned in previous messages, I realized that this thing, you know, when we wake up in the morning, we basically are creating content immediately. Hey, Violet Crow, thank you, Violet Crow. Thank you so much. Um, but I feel like, like we create content as soon as we wake up, right? And, today, because I nearly called mommy to ask her, what should I talk about today? Because yesterday when I called her, she gave me the idea. I think yesterday was patience. And this morning when uncle said, worry not, I thought, worry not indeed. And so I figured more or less that I would make that the topic for today because I don't know. I think sometimes, like, I think that I'll run out of things to say, but even if it's just what I observe, I feel like we can just have a conversation about anything. But nevertheless, here we are at day 50. Hey, I mean, when I look back at day one, Lord have mercy. I didn't even know how to find a live chat, right? I remember towards the end, I saw there were two people, and I believe they were related to Kay. One of them is Starling, and I cannot remember the other person's name. I think it began with a C. And I felt so bad because it was not until the end that I realized that they were in the chat, but I didn't know where to find it. And every day I started to learn one or two things. And it's like, okay, cool. Right. I remember in the beginning, as soon as I said bye, I would hit the stop. And when I rewatched the video, I realized that it would cut it off. So now I'm like, okay, you got to pause a bit. So there's so many things that we learn along the journey, step by step. um, we learn what to do, how to do, what we want to tweak, whatever have you. But one of the things that I've grown to love about the about the live recordings is that I don't have to worry about going back and editing anything. And I can just come on and speak my mind, like speak about like what I experienced today. Right? I don't have to worry about um doing these fancy things because I'm not there yet. I'm not at basically inserting videos and words and all that. So I like this. Like when I'm done, I'm done. Just gotta do my thumbnail, right? But I love it because one of the things that I appreciate doing is laughing at myself. Like when things go wrong, I just laugh because it is what it is, right? Um, reality of it is no matter what we do in life, every step is a building block to the next, right? Before I could go live, I first had to have a YouTube channel, right? So I started my YouTube channel last May 15, 2024. And before that, I never considered doing it, right? But not only have I done my hey Kitana, not only have I um started the channel, figured out how to do my videos and shorts and all of that, and because I'm having fun with it. I'm learning how to be more creative, if that's the thing. I mean, I'm learning how to do more and more things, and so I'm enjoying it. This is how I spend my time. So that whole idea of being lonely and bored, never, because there's so many things that I'm able to do, because I choose to step outside of my comfort zone and I choose to explore uh, opportunities, right? This creating this channel was a huge step for me because never did I think that I would be brave enough to come on and have conversations and talk to the screen and all that, which I don't mind. I think some people think that they feel crazy when they're talking to the screen. I don't, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm talking to myself because that's who I see. But when people are in the chat, I'm talking to people in the chat too, and then whoever is going to watch this message at when it's posted, right? So for me, it took courage, it took faith, and a quiet hope that maybe, just maybe, someone out there would listen. And that's for me, um, the best thing about this is when I get feedback on, I'm so grateful. Like when I do morning messages and I get the, oh my God, I needed to hear this today. And the reality of it is, I also feel that way when I see other people's messages, right? Because me embracing my introvert nature basically happened because of reading a book and basically seeing that, oh, I'm not the only one. There are other people like me. And then coming on YouTube and finding that there are other people who experience the same exact things that I have. And it made it easier. It made it, I don't know, less of a weird journey for me because now I embrace the fact that I'm a wonderful, weird person, right? I am grateful I said yes to this challenge because starting this channel opened doors inside me that I didn't even know were closed. I didn't even know they were there, right? Starting this channel stretched me, it surprised me, and it surprises me every day. It taught me more about myself than I expected. Hi, Benjamin 11. I'm not into philosophy. I'm into life. I'm learning a lot about myself, and especially here that while I'm here in London, I'm here at the house of my uncle alone, and I'm able to just have certain conversations with him, just about life. He's 90. He was married for 60, I think it was 60 something years before his wife passed away. The house that he lives in, and that's one of the things that I love about spending time with the older folks, is that I get to learn. When he told me that he spent £5,000 for this house, that's worth like over $1 million now. I'm like, wait, what? But so these are the things like I learn along the way, and what I love also is that I'm able to teach him. Um, so I love it. Like I'm truly starting to appreciate my purpose. I'm loving the journey that I'm on. I'm loving the person that I'm becoming because I once was someone who preferred to basically be way behind the scenes, no camera on, run. If somebody came to the house and I wasn't expecting them, I would run to my room and stay there until they left as a child and an adult. If I'm in my backyard and I see my neighbor, I'm there peeping behind the bush to see, will he see me if I run past? It's a thing, right? But once upon a time, I used to feel uncomfortable doing those things. I used to feel like a weirdo. But now I'm like, listen, this is me. And if I have to do that to protect my energy, so be it. So be it. Right. And if you're listening to this tonight, and if you're feeling nervous about taking your next step, I want you to hear me clearly. I get it. You are me, right? And at some point, you'll be able to encourage someone who is where you are now to take that step. One of the things that I'm learning, um, what that I've learned rather, is that we are the only ones that can prevent us from doing that thing, right? To be fair, when I first before basically taking this route, I didn't even know what I wanted to do. When people started to talk about your purpose and your offer, and um, someone wants to hear your story, I'd be like, no one wants to hear my story. It's boring. No one wants to know. No one wants to hear my little weird stuff. But the reality of it is, there's so many people, and I've learned that because of the community. So whether it's Veronica's community or Sadie's community, or Kay's community, I feel as if like there's so many people that I've connected with that are similar to me, and I'm grateful for that, right? Because it is a wonderful world, but there's so many of us who um, have felt like outcasts. So many of us who were and or still are misunderstood. So many of us who feel as if like, why am I even here? Right? And we're here for a purpose because God made us. God placed us here. And so, therefore, it's for us to basically find that thing that we're responsible for. I'm grateful that I was able to finally figure it out a couple years ago. um, I used to think that, oh no, time is running out. And the reality of it is, it isn't, right? Your time is your time. I was watching a YouTube video sometime last year. I cannot remember the name of the channel. I just remember the content. And it was a young man interviewing an older lady. And at the time, I think she was in her 90s. She was very sprightly. She was very energetic. And she was just a wonderful human being, in my opinion, right? That's what I got through the screen. And she was talking about how when she was younger, she used the word that she was dumb. You know, she said, I was very dumb in school. I failed everything or got a D or whatever have you. And she told like little stories. And my heart sank. I'm like, no. And thank you, Benjamin. And when the young man asked her, well, when did you find your voice? She was like, I think she said she was 90. And I was like, oh, there's hope for me after all. And I was so inspired by this lady, um, that it kind of just motivated me to just go, right? And it made me appreciate the fact that I'm not late, that I'm right on time. He did another video with her a couple years after, because I don't remember if at the time the second one was done, if she was quite 100 yet, but it was later on. And she was saying how she loves getting up every morning. She loves her life and she loves basically going out to motivate people. So she visits the senior citizen center, and she was saying that she has a friend there at the time had, because I'm not sure like whether or not the person is still here, but she would go and she would visit, and she would had a friend, and she said her friend would say, oh, she would wake up and she's like, oh, I'm still here. And she said when she heard when the lady said it, she was like, and she said that that's not the way that she looks at it. She wakes up and she's like, oh, thank God I'm still here to basically do more. And I'm thinking like, why don't we all think that way? Like when I wake up in the morning, I thank God. Like I thank him for waking me, giving me another day and another opportunity and all these things. Cause I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful that I'm no longer that person who, I do still duck behind trees if I need to, but I'm no longer shy to do this. Like I'm no longer shy to basically turn on my camera. And now, like going live for these past 50 days, it has given me so much courage. It's given me courage that I didn't even know that I needed. And not only not only on here, but also in real life, because now I'm here with my uncle. Like A few years ago, I would never have been able to do this trip by myself because I would beg mommy, mommy, please, you have to come because I would just need her here to be able to have conversations with uncle because there were times when I just felt like I just needed to be in the room. But now I'm the only one in the room with my elderly uncle, and I'm here basically trying to just basically be positive with him because a lot has happened. A lot of negative things has happened with his side of the family, and I'm grateful that God chose me to come and be here with him, if it's even for a few days. And today I was thinking, I wish that I could afford to just stay here for a while, but I have to get back to this thing called a job. I have to go back home to work. But I'm grateful that I was able to come and spend this time with him because it's time that I'm spending that could never be taken away from me or from him. Right. So if this is the last time that I see him, and I pray to God that it isn't, um, then at least I know that I came and I accomplished something. I was able to come and build a stronger bond with him in this lifetime. I'm grateful. So Benjamin said, I gotta go, but what's one thing you wish you could share with the world? The one thing that I wish that I can share with the world is that being an introvert or being a quiet person is not a hindrance. It doesn't mean that we cannot shine. It doesn't mean that we cannot be expressive and show the world who we are. There are so many people who are introverted, who are in um, who hold high places in the world. But I feel like when we see people, because the world is designed for people who are loud and like to talk and just be too much, that we think that we don't belong here, but we do. There's so many people who have made like tremendous impact, and you're one of them. You're one of them. You just have to basically find your voice and use it. That's what I did. Challenge myself every day to basically grow. And I'm grateful. Like, I'm grateful for my mom who's watching because she has allowed me to basically be myself. Right. And when I'm home, it's the funniest thing. I'm screaming in the house, we're going live. We're going live. So just now I called her. She was like, we're going live. And I was like, yes. So just know that you are special and you're unique in your own way, and that you do belong here, and that the world is indeed waiting on you, right? Because I don't know, like I'm feeling so happy for the fact that I have basically taken a step. When I saw the video um over 50 days ago, probably like 52 days ago, is when I watched a Think Media podcast video where Michael Zuber was the guest. And he spoke about going live for 50 days straight because he said his first year on YouTube was like, like a bust. And he said the second year is when he decided to go 50 days straight. 50 days sounded like a flipping hill for me. Like, I was like, I'm not interested in that. But I decided, you know what? I'm not going to count myself out. I'm going to do 25 days. I did the 25 and another 25. And so like basically like just take the steps, take the necessary steps to allow yourself to grow and to be the wonderful human being that God made you to be, right? Um, the reality of it is, I know that feeling of staring at a dream and wondering if you have what it takes, the quiet doubting, the internal tug of war, the fear of failing before you even begin. But here's what these 50 days taught me: you do not need confidence to start. Confidence comes from starting. You don't have to know everything. Heck, you ain't even have to know nothing. What you have to do is know how to turn on, basically hit the start button. You don't have to feel ready. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing. You just have to be willing to basically hit that go live button. You just have to be willing to pick up the phone and call that person who you've been needing to call. You just have to be willing to apply for that job that you know that you're qualified for, but because of fear and doubt, you're just basically not doing it. Do it. Do it. Because every single time you show up, even if it's messy, even if you're nervous, something inside of you shifts, right? I got here because I did that. Your courage expands, your voice strengthens, your spirit grows deeper roots, and you slowly realize you were enough from the very beginning. Because I think a lot of us are always thinking like the quiet folks who are overlooked and like underappreciated, undervalued, um, basically not seen, right? I think that we're not enough, right? Because we don't speak loud enough, or we're not walking a certain way, we don't look a certain way. Um, that we're not raising our hand, our cameras are off, all of those things. And we're always thinking that, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'll never be picked. You will be picked. You know why? Because God already picked you. God already picked you. So now it's time for you to pick yourself. Choose you, and basically, like, like over time, because it's not something that will happen overnight. Like fear is not something that we conquer overnight. Worry is not something that you can get rid of overnight, right? But it's something that you can work on and basically grow, right? The confidence will come as long as you're willing to start. So if you've been putting something off, your dreams, your voice, your healing, your business, that one step you've been scared to take, let me reassure you, you are not behind. You're not unqualified. You are not too late. You are simply at the beginning of what is waiting for you. Sometimes worry is just fear of meeting the version of you that's on the other side of obedience. But trust me, that version of you is stronger, softer, wiser, and more capable than you think. 50 days taught me that you do not grow by knowing, you grow by going. You do not grow by knowing, you grow by going. And if I can show up tired, overwhelmed, uncertain, jet lagged, and still make it to 50 days, so can you. I know that there were times when people would say things like, oh man, if I can do it, you can too. And I used to be like, that's a load of bull. But I'm here to tell you that if I can do it, I know you can too. Because it took basically just having faith in myself to basically get going. And I'll never forget when I decided to do the 50 days, someone said to me, hey, I want to go live with you. And I was like, no, this is something that I have to do for me, right? Because I had gone live once on my website on this channel before, but it was with Kay when we do the Hey Sister, Let's Chat. No, 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 that's not true. We went live. We did go live on Hey Sister, but it was on her channel. The first time that I went live was when I celebrated my 1 year anniversary on May 15, 2025. That was the first time I went live, and never again after that. And I had been wanting to go live, but I was afraid. And when I saw the YouTube video, I realized it's my time. And I'm so glad that I decided to bet on myself and do it. Right. So my thing is, it's like, I want to let you know that you can, right? You can start, you can try, you can take that your small step, because whatever God placed on your heart, He already equipped you to handle it, right? Sometimes we think, oh, I can't handle it. Yes, you can, right? So the only person that can convince you that you cannot is yourself. So cut it out. Tonight I'm passing on my uncle's reminder to you. Worry not. Your next chapter is waiting, right? If this message blessed you, please go ahead and subscribe. Share it with someone who needs it, and comment below and tell me, what step have you been afraid to take? And what's one small move that can make you move forward, right? I would love to hear your heart. Remember, peace isn't a place, it is a choice. Before you go, kindly get my book, Unlocking the Introvert, a pocket guide to understanding and interacting with introverts. It is available at societyofintroverts.com, Amazon, and everywhere books are sold online. So tomorrow's Black Friday. I didn't do a sale because I'm traveling. I'm working on a lot, but it will make a wonderful stocking stuffer. So I recommend that you get two, one for you and one for your bestie, or one for somebody who is curious about introverts. It's filled with a lot of little tips about how to with introverts, whether it is how to travel with an introvert, how to work with an introvert, how to live with an introvert, how to plan a party for an introvert. Don't do it. Especially if it's a surprise. Don't do it. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving Eve to everyone. I do wish that, actually, I was going to say it's Thanksgiving here, but they don't celebrate Thanksgiving here. But Thanksgiving, as far as I'm concerned, should be every day. But happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Do not eat too much turkey or tofu, or what is it? Tofurkey. I think it was like his Toph. I don't remember. Forget it. um, but yeah, so thank you. Have a great night. Stay blissful, and I will see you next time. Happy 50th day. Oh, and cheers. Thank you, Violet Crow. Thank you, Kitana. Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, God. Take care, everyone.